tonight.
It's a real accomplishment for our family. We're happy to be here.
A local men's clothing store is celebrating a big anniversary, how they've been able to adapt over time.
Here goes Nermy the other way. Nermy scores!
Plus, some new faces join the London Knights.
It's definitely nice bringing another guy with, Memorial Cup pedigree.
As they get ready to face off against the Sarnia Sting.
It's been quite a while since we've had to close due to negative weather.
And following days of harsh weather conditions, some winter attractions are back up and running.
CTV News with Lauren Stallone.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Mother Nature is showing no mercy as Midwestern Ontario received its second straight day of harsh winter conditions across the region. Scott Miller reports.
The road closed signs started to come out across Midwestern Ontario on Monday night as wind and snow made for many impassable roads.
I can tell people that if they do see a road closure sign in place, trust that there's a good reason for that. Please do not go around that sign. We've got it closed because there's a collision ahead, or there's unsafe conditions, or there's debris on the roadway. Whatever the case may be, the police will ultimately decide to close and reopen a road.
Not everyone has been heeding Solden's words. South Bruce OPP say a coach bus driver was stopped twice over the past 2 days, driving on a closed highway near Kincardine.
And if you do go around those signs, you can be charged under the Highway Traffic Act. So just prepare, check your weather sources, and make sure that you're not traveling unnecessarily. If you do need to travel, make sure you plan ahead.
Around noon hour, a brief reprieve as a handful of closed roads reopened, but that's not expected to last very long. And if by some far-off chance you might be looking for some more wintry weather, you're in luck. There is the possibility of 25 to 50 centimeters more of snow by Thursday morning, which means a lot more shoveling and snow blowing is in the near future for residents of Huron, Bruce, Grey, Wellington, and Perth counties.
I'm living the Canadian dream. This is what I live for.
You honestly like winter?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can make money shoveling.
Blowing snow and snow squall warnings still blanket Midwestern Ontario and will likely stay in place until New Year's Day as Mother Nature ends 2025 the way it started it, with a wintry mess. In Wingham, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Meanwhile, some local winter attractions are back up and running for Londoners looking to hit the slopes. Sean Irvin reports.
At London's Bowler Mountain, it is a picture-perfect day for skiing and snowboarding. It is a stark contrast to Monday's high winds, which ruined the day for everyone planning to hit the slopes.
Oh, very hard to believe. Wasn't even open.
And then today, the conditions are?
Excellent. Nice fresh snow. Couldn't be better.
Mother Nature can change on a dime.
Exactly.
The battle with the conditions forced Bowler to wave a white flag on Monday.
It's been quite a while since we've had to close due to negative weather event.
The shutdown, caused primarily by the high winds, came on the heels of Sunday's warm rain and Saturday's freezing rain. The latter was especially challenging for crews, as ski lifts nearly grounded to a halt due to ice buildup.
To get the lifts de-iced and back open in a day was something pretty special, and those guys worked real hard.
The same saga played out at Storybook Gardens. The storm cleanup here has taken 2 days to complete and involved removing numerous tree branches scattered throughout the park. While city officials at the site were not permitted to appear on camera, staff were clearly busy repairing and clearing the attraction. The first skaters back were a grandfather and his grandson, who appreciated all the efforts to get things back on track.
We've seen the kids out here working hard to make sure that everything's all cleared up for us, so we were ready to go.
And with the second week of the school break just underway, there is lots of time left to enjoy the snow.
This is a true winter condition, and we're grateful to have it. And we hope winter continues like this for a few more weeks.
And so does young Kai. He has more winter activities planned.
Pretty much everything.
Especially being here with Papa?
Yes.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Safety officials are warning the public to stay away from all bodies of water. They say what looks frozen can quickly turn dangerous. Hannah Schmidt has more.
You can see at the shore, at the edge of where it's a lot thinner due to the movement and the current on the shore, and that's where a lot of the accidents occur.
It may look safe from a distance.
The ice could look solid, but it can still be very dangerous.
Local fire officials say ice across Waterloo Region right now is unpredictable, unstable, and potentially deadly.
Ice conditions and thickness vary due to temperature, water flow, and snow cover. We obviously say no ice is safe ice. At the end of the day, ice thickness is unpredictable.
It's a message echoed by the Grand River Conservation Authority. With the recent up and down temperatures, it's a recipe for danger.
Ice conditions can change very quickly during these freeze-thaw conditions. With the water levels rising, it can create unstable and unsafe ice.
Signage posted at the low bridge over Conestoga River in St. Jacobs stating that access is limited. And with good reason.
It's for safety reasons. This area is prone to flooding, so we keep it closed due to the winter months.
One wrong step could send someone into the fast-flowing river below.
No winter activity is worth risking a life. That does put us at risk, too. You got to keep in mind, when we go in the ice and there is a rescue, that also puts our volunteer firefighters at risk.
Officials say if residents do head out on the ice to take part in recreational activities, it's imperative to check the thickness of ice. Minimum 4 inches of clear, strong ice for walking, 5 inches for snowmobiles, and a foot or more if you'd like to drive a truck on it.
And that is the dark blue ice that is the safest. White ice is not as safe, and then the dark gray ice is very unpredictable and dangerous.
Officials also reminding residents to avoid stormwater ponds, which are not designed to hold weight and can give way without warning.
I know lots of people want to be doing recreational activities or accessing the ice to cross in areas. However, it's very unsafe to do that at this time.
Fire crews and conservation authorities are urging parents and pet owners to especially be cautious, saying the safest choice right now is to stay off of all ice-covered water bodies. Hannah Schmidt, CTV News, St. Jacobs.
Good evening, folks. I'm meteorologist Gary Archibald for CTV News. Let's talk about the warnings in place. Lots of road closures across the region, especially for the Midwestern tier. And the impact level of this snow squall warning is in the orange rain, meaning extreme, right? High likelihood of blowing snow, drifting snow, reduced visibility, blizzard-like conditions, if not blizzard conditions late tonight through to tomorrow. So again, staying off area roads, especially like Highway 21, just off the eastern shore of Lake Huron. In part, there are closures because of northwesterlies fetching across Lake Huron, and the snow continues. 20 to 40 centimeters in the next 24 to 48 hours is a possibility. And of course, the great city of London is cold, below seasonal. We've been in and out of some snow, drifting snow, blowing snow, and wind chill values in the minus double digits tonight. Minus 14 through to tomorrow morning. We'll talk about if there's a reprieve just for a little bit. New Year's Day coming up. Lauren?
Mechanical issues forced a Via Rail train to suddenly stop outside of St. Mary's today. The train was heading to Toronto from Sarnia. Passengers were eventually moved to London. People then boarded onto a bus to Union Station. Via says passengers who experience a delay of more than 4 hours will be given a 100% travel credit. A close call on a highway in Kitchener caught on camera. A man was on his way to work when he says another motorist heading the wrong way almost hit him. CTV's Alexandra Hollick reports.
A scary sight on Highway 78 in Kitchener.
Driving to work around 2:30, 2:45 in the morning there, and the roads were a little icy. It was foggy, it was very thick. And then all of a sudden I seen brighter lights coming on my side of the road, and I wasn't too sure exactly what it was.
A vehicle heading east in the westbound lanes early Monday morning. Chase Doolittle says he wasn't expecting it.
I take this road daily, every day, and it was just like, well, today's my day. You know, it's coming, but luckily it didn't happen.
It's not clear why the car was going the wrong way or how long the motorist had been driving for.
Never expected to happen to you. So it is very frightening. It's kind of scary, but hopefully no one got injured or killed.
Police say there weren't any injuries or collisions reported, and neither OPP or Waterloo Regional Police received calls about the incident.
This is obviously an incredibly dangerous situation.
Traveling at highway speeds like 100 kilometers an hour, they can come up on you pretty quickly, and people's reaction time won't be quick.
They say the first thing drivers should do is slow down and get out of the way.
Do not go and chase them. Do not make a U-turn on the highway and chase them and flash your lights at them to get their attention. You are going to put yourself and other people at harm.
And if you find yourself heading into oncoming traffic,
first thing to do is pull over to the shoulder, the left or the right, whatever the closest is, and stop your vehicle.
Wrong way driving comes with serious consequences.
It becomes an issue as soon as it's happening. So very simply, there is everything from Highway Traffic Act offense, which is a ticket, all the way up to criminal charges.
As for Doolittle, he says the close call won't throw a wrench in his regular routine, but he'll be keeping an extra close eye on the road and wants other drivers to stay alert too.
Just take your time, just look ahead. Don't overreact and start steering everywhere. And then if you can get out of the way, get out of the way.
Alexandra Hollick, CTV News.
The London Knights will play the second of a back-to-back with the Sarnia Sting tomorrow, and they'll have a couple new additions which should help them in the second half of the season. Brent Lale reports.
The London Knights' Christmas wish came true. Needing more scoring, they are set to add William Nicol and Jesse Nurmi into tomorrow's lineup.
It's a big boost for the guys. The team's pretty excited in the dressing room.
Nicol has not played since off-season upper body surgery.
I've been out for five or 6 months now, and just being around the room, it's great, but you're not really into it until you're back on the ice in a game with the boys.
Here goes Nurmi the other way. Nurmi scores!
Nurmi has been sent back to the Knights from the American Hockey League. He's flying into Canada today, and if his paperwork gets approved, his transfer back to the OHL will be done in time to play Wednesday.
Jesse Nurmi was just kind of a bonus that you don't expect, but it's definitely nice bringing another guy with Memorial Cup pedigree back into the lineup.
Been one of my best friends since the first day he's got here, so to hear that he's coming back is unbelievable.
The additions of Nicol and Nurmi come at a time when the Knights are just starting to hit their stride. Heading into their New Year's Eve game against the Sarnia Sting, they've won 4 in a row under interim head coach Dylan Hunter.
A lot of positivity right now with our game. Obviously, our conference is never easy. You got a bunch of other teams there that are just hitting their stride as well.
For Nicol, there have been times when it felt like this return would never come.
Come in early morning, do some rehab, skate, work out, and sort of repeat. So it's been a grind. I think the staff and the players, like my teammates, they're unbelievable. The best guys you could ask for. So they made it pretty easy to stay motivated, and that drive to come back, pretty easy.
The OHL trade deadline is now less than 2 weeks away. With these two additions and Sam O'Reilly returning from Team Canada next week, it's possible the Knights could push all in again for a run at a third straight OHL title.
We'll just worry about that game right now and get through that, and we'll continue our discussions about where the team is and where it's going.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
Team Canada took on Denmark last night, looking for a third straight win to open the World Junior Hockey Championship.
Michael Hayes feeds that down, takes the return pass, slings it across, score!
Canada scored early on the power play and went on to dominate the game. They beat Denmark 9-1, with star forward Gavin McKenna securing a hat trick. Canada will have a chance to win their group if they can beat Finland tomorrow night. Lottery players across Canada will be imagining the freedom tonight. A massive $80 million Lotto Max jackpot is up for grabs this evening after Friday's draw saw the main prize go unclaimed for a 5th straight time. There are also 49 $1 million prizes available to be won. Coming up, it's back to the drawing board in 2026 for the Ontario Liberal Party as it looks for a leader and a return to governing at Queen's Park. And a local menswear shop is celebrating 60 years in style.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVLondon.ca, your home for news.
The FBI says millions of dollars worth of motorcycles have been seized by Mexican authorities linked to Canadian alleged drug lord Ryan Wedding. CTV's Judy Trin has more.
Dozens of high-powered motorcycles worth an estimated $40 million seized in a joint operation by Mexican authorities, the FBI, the RCMP, and Los Angeles Police. Authorities say the collection belongs to Canadian fugitive Ryan Wedding. Each bike contains valuable clues.
Determining the flow of his supply, the flow of, his income, his drug supplies, his narcotics, of how it's being transported.
Earlier this month, the FBI released a new photo of Wedding. It's believed the former Olympic snowboarder is being hidden by the Sinaloa cartel.
Sinaloa has been undergoing a real attack on their power and their ability to protect Wedding, consequently, is starting to crumble.
Analysts say that after the Trump administration declared drug cartels terrorist organizations, Mexico increased its efforts to ferret out Wedding, prompted by watching the U.S. attack Venezuelan drug boats.
This is something they would not have done before the United States declared that the cartels were terrorist groups, because they didn't have to. But now they feel the threat of the possible attack by the United States.
About 30 associates of Wedding have already been arrested, including Wedding's Toronto lawyer, Deepak Paradkar, accused of counseling suspects to murder an informant. The U.S. wants him extradited. Paradkar was granted bail last week because of health concerns.
Obviously, we've seen in the movies, and it's true, they're going to, take out, execute, kill any individual who could potentially become an FBI informant. If they're under investigation, they're being extradited to the United States, that's a risk to them.
Ryan Wedding has been on the run since 2015. Not only is he considered the biggest cocaine trafficker in Canada, he's also accused of at least 4 murders in Ontario. The FBI is offering $15 million for information that could lead to his arrest and conviction. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
As of next week, Ontario civil servants will be back to work in office full-time. The call back to the office kicks off January 5th. It applies to all who work for provincial agencies, boards, and commissioned public bodies. The provincial government says over half of the Ontario Public Service has already returned to workplace full-time, but now the rest will too. 2025 saw a comeback of sorts for Ontario's Liberals, with more seats and a return to party status in February's provincial election. However, the party remains without a leader. Siobhan Morris explains.
After races in 2020 and again in 2023, Ontario's Liberal Party is in search of a leader, their third since Doug Ford became Premier in 2018. The winter election, a story of wins and losses for the Liberals. They picked up 14 seats, enough to regain party status.
We increased our share of the vote substantially to 30%.
But Bonnie Crombie defeated in a Mississauga riding, the city where she'd been mayor for 9 years. In September, only 57% of party delegates expressed support in her leadership.
It's not the number I wanted.
Planning to resign once a new leader is chosen. Crombie hasn't been at Queen's Park since leaving the convention stage.
But she continues to be in conversation. She has recently done multiple fundraisers for our Liberal associations.
The party president says that work will continue until a successor is in place.
We're really excited and energized for this upcoming leadership race.
A chance to attract new talent, new members, but the when of it all hasn't been nailed down.
The membership survey that we've done will help us with some of the decisions around the rules, the process, the fee, the timing, the voting, as well as the convention.
John Fraser's been leading the Liberals in the House.
We punch way above our weight.
But has no interest in the gig on a permanent basis. There's debate amongst Liberals over whether they should look for fresh blood.
Maybe a mayor, maybe somebody from the business world, maybe somebody who's never been in politics but has tons of charisma and game.
Versus a leader who already has a spot in the House opposite Doug Ford.
Is known to media, already has some brand value in politics.
After 3 brutal elections, Reid sees the selection of the next Liberal leader as existential.
They need a leader who can light up the electorate in this next election. If they elect a resume or the strongest organizer or the best known person within the tiny camp that is the Ontario Liberal Party already, they will lose again, and who knows where the party will end up.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Despite the constant changes in fashion and formal wear, a well-known London business has been able to adapt over time and expand for 60 years in retail. CTV's Nick Paparella has more on the big anniversary.
Thank you for calling Collins. Cole speaking. How can I help you?
60 years in business is something just a few retailers are able to celebrate.
It's a real accomplishment for our family, so it's exciting for us, exciting for London, and yeah, we're happy to be here.
From humble beginnings with one small London location in 1965, Collins Clotheers has expanded to include 7 corporate stores in southern Ontario, with its main location on Adelaide Street South. There are also 140 wholesale spots across the country. Kurt Collins is the 3rd-generation owner. It all started with his grandmother, Judy, offering wedding gowns and formal wear.
Small little store on Worley Road. She just decided one day that she was working in the existing store and she wanted to go on her own, so she did. Dad took over, built the company up, and I took over probably fully about 10 to 15 years ago, and it's grown tremendously. Yeah, we're up to almost 70 employees, 40 full-time, 30 seasonal employees. So, but it's changed so much. We were, once tuxedo rentals and bridal, now we're clothing.
For more than 20 years, Collins has been selling men's clothing. However, formal wear still makes up a big part of their business, making up for 50% of sales.
Corporate stores are now doing tuxedos, suits, men's clothing, boys' clothing, everything related to clothing now. So we've just expanded to offer much more than we did at one time.
Over the years, the Collins family have supported the community that has supported them.
Well, I've always believed that if you give back to the community supports you, right? We saw that through COVID, we saw it through all the years, but we're a big proponent of charity. We do lots of charity with the London Health Science Centre, ChildCan, and many others.
And as for the next 60 years,
it's humbling to see where we've got to. I think it's just amazing. Where do I see us? Just continue to offer value, customer service. I think that's the big thing that we're going to focus on is just the customers and building it from there.
Nick Paparella, CTV News.
Gary is here now with your full weather forecast. Gary?
Lauren, I think the big takeaway for tonight is it still remains cold. The snow squall activity is the big threat, with near whiteout conditionings happening in parts of the Midwest, as well as southwestern Ontario right now and through the overnight. Here's a breakdown for the great city of London. The forecast, we knew it was going to be below seasonal. Today we were 5 degrees below seasonal in terms of the high. It was cloudy and windy, and of course there were incidences of blowing snow and drifting. So the wind gusts throughout southern Ontario proper continue to be high, probably in that 60 to 70 range across parts of Georgian Bay through the Bruce, eastern shores of Lake Huron. Obviously, temperatures in that -5 to 8, maybe 9 category across the region are, it feels that much colder when you factor in the winds out of the northwest, sustained in the 40s with gusts as high as the 60s and 70s right now through tonight. So the Snowbelt region. We talked about Highway 21. The worst case scenario is whiteout conditions through the evening and overnight, right? And obviously, some of that snow is covering icy surfaces beneath. More snow to add, anywhere from an additional 10 to 20, some computer models within the next 18 to 24 hours, suggesting 20 to 25 centimeters, which means this overall event will put down over 40 centimeters, and some areas might even see close to 50. Here's the breakdown for tonight. We continue to be cold, check, and obviously windy. The wind chill factor in the minus teens. It's getting colder as we head towards the overnight by a degree or so. And at -7, midnight, wind chill factor of -14. Here's the 7-day forecast. So flurries, an additional 10 plus centimeters for the city of London. That's been hammered, and even more snow right now through to about 2 a.m. It could pick up, and that 10 to 20 could in fact be a little bit higher. Thursday's New Year's. Happy New Year's to you and yours. We'll see -8 in the morning, feeling close to -18. Flurries for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday could be an all-out snowstorm. The first weekend into the first week of 2026 likely to be active, cold, and snow accumulating. Speaking of snow, I've already mentioned the Midwest. Significant snow squall activity happening now, continuing through the overnight. It is windy with blowing snow, whiteout conditions, areas seeing road closures throughout. Thursday, Happy New Year to you too. Very cold, frigid in the morning. The low is -16. We know the wind chill values will be in the mid -20s. Flurries continue through the weekend. Temperatures moderating, will get a little milder, relatively speaking, be closer to the freezing mark, if not slightly below, as we head towards, well, the middle of next week. Wherever you are, do travel safely and wear those extra layers. It's frigid out there. Lauren?
Thanks for that, Gary. Looking for a new ride in the new year? We'll have a list of the most reliable car brands if you're in the market. Buying a new car isn't cheap these days. Consumer Reports reviews which brands give you the best value for your money, and the nonprofit has a long list of what it says are the most reliable brands. Here's Pat Foran.
Every year, Consumer Reports asks its members about any problems they've experienced with their vehicles over the past 12 months. The survey covers areas from minor issues like trim and infotainment systems to serious and costly ones involving the engine, transmission, or electric motors. Problems no one wants to deal with on a new car.
The problem is that once the warranty expires, an unreliable new car starts becoming a real headache, and it costs you time and money.
This year, they analyzed data from about 380,000 vehicles. The top brands include Toyota, Subaru, and Lexus, with Honda and BMW rounding out the top 5.
The same automakers continue to dominate our top brand rankings. And that's because when they're looking to redesign a model, they're not making huge seismic changes. And many models across the line use shared components.
The latest findings show that EVs and plug-in hybrids remain more trouble-prone than traditional gas models, while conventional hybrids, which don't need to be plugged in, continue to stand out for reliability.
Hybrids are more complex than internal combustion models. However, some manufacturers, in particular Toyota, but also Hyundai and Kia, have worked out the bugs. And in some cases, the reliability of the hybrid models is similar to or even better than the regular versions.
Along with better fuel economy, researchers found hybrid versions often deliver a smoother driving experience than traditional gas models. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Gold has experienced a major surge in value in 2025, and now many people are taking advantage of the rising price of this precious metal. CTV's Allison Hurst explains.
Just going to lay everything on the tray here. Staff at Museum Gold and Silver check the ring and necklace a customer has brought in to sell.
Never wear it, and the price of gold is so high now, so I thought I'd take advantage of it.
They start with the magnet test.
Gold and silver are non-magnetic, so that's a great starting point here.
Then check the number of carats.
Coming up just shy of 22 carat over here. That one is just shy of 21 carats.
And factor in the weight to get the value.
So this necklace here at 17.3 grams, you're looking at $2,980.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Thank you.
And the ring today is going to be another $570.
Amazing.
This customer ends up with a little more than $3,500.
I truly didn't believe that it was going to be this much. I'm really excited. Yeah, new purse time.
This is something staff say they've been seeing for months. More customers coming in to take advantage of the price of gold by selling items that are broken or were not being worn.
We haven't seen the type of excitement around precious metals in a very long time. The last time was probably around the 2010, 2011 time.
The gold rush has been going on for the last 2 years, and analysts say the price has doubled in that time.
I think they need a lot for it to yield a large return. We've had people sold a few items and all of them took a whole family on a cruise.
Analysts say there are several reasons for the surge. Central banks have been loading up on gold, and it's becoming easy for consumers to do the same.
One of those points where we see gold re-enter the public consciousness in terms of diversified assets for investment purposes is when Costco started selling gold bars. It's not so much that was a surge in demand, so much as it became easy for people to make that investment.
But it's next to impossible to predict how long it might stay this high.
Once the price of something doubles in 2 years, that's pretty extraordinary, and it's unlikely that we would see another doubling in the following 2 years.
Max Smirnoff has one tip for anyone else hoping to cash in on the golden moment.
Look for places that advertise their prices. Look for places that give you a very transparent process.
Because a piece you've been overlooking may actually be worth it. Allison Hurst, CTV News.
Canada's main stock index finished lower as declines in technology stocks offset gains in the basic materials sector. The TSX slid 30 points and the Dow fell 94, while the Nasdaq was off 55. The dollar saw a slight loss. Gold was up almost $43 and oil was down 13 cents a barrel. Cause for alarm in Toronto as health officials warn of a major increase in street drug overdoses. One person is dead and 3 others are injured after a shooting on a First Nation in western Saskatchewan. 2 suspects considered armed and dangerous are on the loose. Saskatchewan RCMP issued a dangerous persons alert saying the 2 individuals were last seen on an ATV about 400 kilometers northwest of Saskatoon. The motive of the shooting is still under investigation. We are hearing from the family of a Quebec couple found dead while on vacation in the Dominican Republic. CTV's Caitlin Wilson has more.
For Alain Noel and his wife Christine Sauvé, it was a dream home in Villarriva in the Dominican Republic where they planned to retire. It's where they were spending the holidays when they were found dead on Boxing Day.
We're like in a big shock, everybody here, and I don't know. It's hard to go day by day, but we're trying.
Christine's brother, Gilles Sauvé Jr., says the couple was discovered in their bed by their adult son, who had traveled there for Christmas. He says his sister felt unwell the day before she died, lightheaded enough to go to the hospital for blood work.
She was supposed to come back the day after because it was almost everything closed there, but they didn't pass the night, so both of them.
Sauvé is now in the Dominican Republic with the couple's 2 children, waiting for autopsy results that could take up to a month.
There's nothing that is close of being suicide or a murder or a violence or something like that. There's a sickness, there's something there, but we don't know what.
Global Affairs Canada confirms to CTV News it is aware of the deaths of 2 Canadian citizens and says consular assistance is being provided, but no further details are being released due to privacy. Despite that, Sauvé says he has not been able to speak directly with local police or Canadian officials.
That is the big wish, yeah, for sure, to have a little bit more help that's on this side here.
Back home, the family is well known in Gatineau for years of community involvement, including fundraising for Ottawa's Children's Hospital CHEO and close ties to the Gatineau Olympiques, which issued a statement offering its condolences. And as they wait for answers, Sauvé says the focus now is on bringing the couple back to Canada.
Very good family of four, very tight family, very nice family. It's everything.
Caitlin Wilson, CTV News, Ottawa.
Looking back at 2025, artificial intelligence didn't just take over social media, it exploded in ways many never imagined. NBC's Gotti Schwartz reflects on the AI boom.
Hey guys, it's Gotti Schwartz. This year, AI, artificial intelligence, exploded. It dominated headlines in politics.
We're leading in AI. We're leading China by a lot. We're leading everybody by a lot.
Business.
I think AI is profound, and so it will change everything.
And entertainment.
Let's get to know each other, and thanks for watching.
AI drove so many stories and conversations, but here are a few that stood out to me this year.
At what point did you stop using a lawyer and just start using AI?
In post, I saw that I can handle this appeal on my own.
I met a woman in Southern California who used AI to overturn an eviction notice. She couldn't afford a lawyer, so she used ChatGPT to do the work.
AI was helping me draft the motions and the briefs.
That's not to say the AI was perfect. She said it sometimes created hallucinations, legal citations to help her case that don't really exist. The terms of use state the program should not be used as a substitute for a qualified professional.
Do you think you could have done it without AI?
Absolutely not.
And want to learn about some legal cases in Arizona? AI may be able to provide the details. The state Supreme Court has created AI reporters to share that information.
The justices said that even if she didn't mean to violate the rules, her actions...
Why? Why are you doing this?
Why? I think it's just an efficient way for us to get news out.
A public information officer from the court who designed his digital co-workers told me it takes the AI reporters just minutes to get the job done. Do you see this ever replacing, like, news reporters?
I don't think so.
And to be clear, everything the bots say is actually written by the justices themselves. Then there was that plot twist in Hollywood where an AI actor caused a stir with stars. Its name?
Tilly Norwood, 100% AI generated.
Real actors weighing in. Lucy Hale writing disapprovingly, no, and Lucas Gage cracking a joke saying she couldn't hit her mark and she was late. The agency that created Tilly says it was built using 10 different AI tools and is trained to perform with nuance, emotion, and consistency.
But can she cry on Graham Norton?
Of course she can, and it'll be clipped, subtitled, and monetized on TikTok by lunchtime.
Finally, we have entered a new era of social media. Horses galloping on the moon, an ice skater twirling in the mountains, and dragons. These are videos created by OpenAI's new text-to-video model called Sora. It allows users to create high-definition videos from simple text prompts. I tried out the app and made something extra special for the holidays. We are 470 feet above the heart of Manhattan, standing on the platform right above the famous New Year's Eve ball. Look at this view. Times Square glowing beneath us, the Hudson on one side, the East River on the other. Thankfully, AI me is not afraid of heights. Looking ahead to 2026, we're going to continue to watch how AI is transforming your world. That's going to do it for me. For now, I am the real Gotti Schwartz.
Tomorrow, crews are making last-minute preparations for the city's annual New Year's Eve bash in Victoria Park. What you can expect as we say goodbye to 2025. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News.
The CTV News weather snapshot of the day is brought to you by Auburn Group's Magic of Lights. Thanks to Eduardo Pulgar for this fascinating image. Beautiful. The blustery winds that produce waves as such have died down a bit. It's still a windy night and a cold, windy evening. Flows into a cold morning tomorrow for New Year's Eve. Expect a continuation of a lake effect, snow across the Midwestern tier, and an additional 20 to 40 centimeters is possible over the next 24 to 36 hours. New Year's Day is likely frigid across much of southern Ontario, and windy northwesterlies will make it feel like the mid-minus teens in the early morning. Wherever you are, dress warmly and travel safely.
A spike in opioid overdoses over the holidays has prompted a warning from Toronto Public Health. Pauline Chan reports.
Toronto's drug checking service handles some 300 to 400 samples each month, but over the Christmas break, Toronto Public Health saw a worrisome spike in overdoses. They say between December 20th and 28th, 2025, Toronto Paramedic Services responded to 122 calls, which was 35% higher than the average number of calls for comparable periods in the previous 2 years. The number of suspected overdose deaths is comparable to the same period in 2024, under 5, and overdoses are occurring citywide.
122 suspected overdose-related calls over about 9 days. So that's like 14 calls per day.
Executive Director Karen McDonald points to the recent closure of many Ontario safe consumption sites.
That greatly impacted our program. So we did see about a 60% reduction in the number of samples that we were checking.
What the service has noted? Some samples expected to be fentanyl showed higher than usual concentrations of fentanyl or parafluorofentanyl. Many were also contaminated with medetomidine, a veterinary tranquilizer. In fact, 81% of Christmas-time samples contained medetomidine, and unpredictable, high concentrations of fentanyl and contaminants can increase the risk of overdose.
It also greatly complicates overdose response. Because naloxone will work on the opioid that is in someone's body, but it will not work on the veterinary tranquilizer.
Advice for drug users includes avoiding using alone or calling the National Overdose Response Service at 1-888-688-6677 or NORS. Carry naloxone with you and use supervised consumption sites and local drug checking services. McDonald says the loss of safe consumption sites has led to increased calls for paramedics, and staffing over the holidays has decreased the number of services available for those at highest risk of overdose. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
With the new year just a few days away, some very brave swimmers are planning to ring in 2026 with the polar plunge. Researchers are taking a closer look at potential impacts of cold water exposure.
The biggest evidence really is for muscle improvement and athletic recovery after a hard workout. So if that's your goal, cold water exposure does seem to have evidence for it. There also is increasing interest on the impacts of cold water exposure on mood and insulin sensitivity. And that is still yet to be proven.
The team examined the health effects of cold plunges. Its findings indicate cold exposure has a strong correlation with supporting athletic recovery. It's also advising anyone participating in a cold plunge to make sure they have the ability to warm up immediately afterwards. Forbes magazine says Beyonce is the latest artist to become a billionaire.
Give me my check. Put some respect on my check. Pay me in equity. Pay me in equity. Watch me reverse out of dick.
She and her husband Jay-Z are among the 5 musicians the magazine has declared to be billionaires. The other 3 are Taylor Swift, Bruce Springsteen, and Rihanna. Forbes says most of Beyonce's wealth comes from her music catalog and global tours.
London's top stories.
We have breaking news tonight out of Ottawa. The latest in the
breaking news alerts.
I'm tracking an area of severe weather. It'll start.
And watch live.
A development now to a story from City Hall we brought you.
Download the CTV News app.
Hundreds of people in St. John's, Newfoundland are clogging up the streets, making a run for the border. CTV's Garrett Berry has more on the Taco Bell fast food frenzy.
A parade of red brake lights have taken over this stretch of a major thoroughfare outside of St. John's. Cars lined up down the street for a 3rd day running, waiting for a Taco Bell meal.
Delicious. Hopefully it tastes as good as they say.
How long did you have to wait?
Half an hour.
Not
we got
too bad.
1:30, 1:58 now. Got the food.
Since 1:34.
Since 1:34. Do you think it's going to be worth it?
Definitely. It better be.
It's just something different, something we haven't had in a long time. It was here a couple years ago, came and gone, but nice to have again, see?
No, it's not the first time the restaurant has come to this province, but this reception has been staggering. Over the weekend, some reported waiting hours just for a taste.
My son's birthday's New Year's Day,
He wanted some. The lineup seemed pretty good today, so I said, okay, I'd get in the lineup for him to have a try.
The city of Mount Pearl has been forced to implement some traffic measures to help manage this lineup. They've banned left-hand turns in or out of the Taco Bell restaurant itself. They also have enforcement officers down here in the lineup trying to smooth things along. One job, ensuring people can get in and out of this nearby funeral home. The dining mania hasn't spilled over to other area restaurants, and not everyone is a huge fan of the drive-through craze.
Disposable dining dollars are at a premium more now than they've ever been.
Restaurateur and industry advocate Todd Parent says the local independent restaurant scene is simply in competition with some of these fast food giants.
We're in a world where the public needs to decide what kind of communities they want to live in, and if they want to live in fast food, franchise-dominated, cities and towns, then they get to ultimately the customer gets to decide.
He hopes that these dedicated customers remember businesses like his, especially during the slow winter months. Garrett Berry, CTV News, Mount Pearl.
Major preparations today ahead of some of the biggest New Year's Eve celebrations in the world. New Yorkers saw a trial run today of the brand new Constellation Ball decorated with over 5,000 crystal circles that will drop at midnight in Times Square. While in London, a network of 12,000 fireworks were getting wired up ahead of the UK's biggest New Year's Eve display. That's our time tonight. For your latest local updates, you can always head to our website. Our next newscast is tonight at 11. We'll see you then. Have a good night.